Welcome to our storytelling journey at WooEnglish.com, where we learn English through engaging and inspiring stories. As we embark on this adventure, we encourage you to share your thoughts and likes along the way. Your comments help us create even better stories for your learning and enjoyment. Let's dive into our story together. Chapter 1. A Slovenian Beginning. In a small, picturesque town in Slovenia, a girl named Melania was born. Her world was simple, yet beautiful, surrounded by rolling green hills and clear blue skies. From a young age, Melania showed a love for beauty. She would often be found sketching dresses and imagining herself in glamorous outfits. Melania's family was close-knit and supportive. Her father was a car dealer, and her mother worked in the fashion industry as a pattern maker. It was from her mother that Melania inherited her love for fashion. Her parents encouraged her dreams, telling her that with hard work she could achieve anything. Growing up in Slovenia, Melania attended school like other children. She was a good student, curious and eager to learn. Her favorite subjects were art and design. She loved to create and was always inventing new things. Her friends admired her creativity and often asked her for fashion advice. As Melania grew older, her dream of becoming a model began to take shape. She was tall and graceful, with a natural elegance that caught everyone's attention. Her parents, knowing her ambition, supported her decision to enter the world of modeling. They believed in her talent and wanted her to follow her passion. At the age of 16, Melania started her modeling career. She participated in local fashion shows and quickly became known in her hometown. Her confidence grew with each show, and she began to dream of modeling in bigger cities, maybe even outside of Slovenia. Melania's journey was not without challenges. The modeling world was competitive, and she had to work hard to stand out. There were days of disappointment and rejection, but she did not give up. Her family's encouragement was her strength. They reminded her that success comes from perseverance and belief in oneself. In addition to modeling, Melania continued her education. She knew the importance of having a good education and was determined to finish her studies. She balanced her schoolwork and modeling career, showing an admirable dedication to both. As she finished her high school education, Melania's thoughts turned towards the future. She wanted to explore the world beyond Slovenia. She dreamed of traveling to Paris and Milan, the fashion capitals of the world. She imagined walking on runways and appearing in fashion magazines. Her heart was set on making these dreams a reality. Melania's early life in Slovenia laid the foundation for her future. It was a life filled with love, support, and dreams. Her parents taught her to believe in herself and to pursue her passions with all her heart. These lessons would guide her as she stepped into a bigger world, chasing her dreams and facing new adventures. As the chapter closes, we see Melania at a turning point. She is ready to leave her hometown and step into the unknown. Her journey is just beginning, and there is much excitement ahead. The small-town girl from Slovenia is about to embark on a journey that will take her places she once only dreamed of. Chapter 2. The World of Fashion. Melania's journey in the world of fashion began with big dreams and small steps. She left her home in Slovenia with a heart full of hopes and a suitcase packed with ambition. Her destination was the bustling, vibrant cities of Europe, where fashion was not just clothes, but a way of life. In Paris, the city of lights and high fashion, Melania stepped into a completely different world. The streets were like runways, with people showcasing the latest trends and styles. The air was filled with a sense of elegance and sophistication. Melania felt both excited and overwhelmed. This was where she wanted to be, but she knew the road ahead would be challenging. Her first days in Paris were tough. She went to numerous auditions, facing rejections and setbacks. The fashion industry was more competitive than she had imagined. Models from all over the world came to Paris, each trying to make their mark, but Melania's determination did not waver. She remembered her parents' words, "Believe in yourself and never give up." Slowly, Melania started to see success. She got her first break in a small fashion show. It was not a big event, but for her, it was a start. She walked down the runway with confidence, feeling every bit the model she had dreamed of becoming. After that show, more opportunities came her way. She modeled for local designers and appeared in fashion magazines. With each step, her confidence grew. But with success came new challenges. Melania had to adapt to different cultures and languages. She missed her family and sometimes felt alone in the crowded cities of Europe. Yet she found strength in these challenges. They taught her to be independent and resilient. As she travelled from Paris to Milan, Melania's reputation in the fashion world grew. Milan was another centre of fashion, known for its luxury brands and high-end fashion shows. Here, Melania's elegance and unique style caught the attention of renowned designers. She began to walk in more significant shows, modelling for famous brands. The dream she had nurtured in Slovenia was becoming a reality. Melania's success in modelling opened new doors for her. She met people from different parts of the world, each with their own stories and experiences. She learned about different aspects of fashion, from design to photography. This exposure broadened her understanding of the industry and deepened her love for fashion. Despite her success, Melania stayed humble and grounded. She remembered where she came from and the journey she had embarked on. Her rise in the fashion world was not just about walking on runways. It was about the lessons she learned and the person she became. The chapter ends with Melania at a pivotal moment in her career. She had made a name for herself in the European fashion scene, but there was more to explore. Her journey was not just about fame and success. It was about following her passion and staying true to herself. As she looked ahead, Melania knew that her adventure in the world of fashion was just beginning. There were more runways to walk, more designs to wear, and more dreams to chase. Chapter 3. American Dream. After making a mark in European fashion, Melania set her sights on a new challenge, the United States. Known as the land of opportunities, America was a place where many dreams came true. For Melania, it was the next big step in her journey. Arriving in New York, the city that never sleeps, was an overwhelming experience for Melania. The skyscrapers reached towards the sky, and the streets buzzed with energy and life. This city was different from Paris and Milan. It was bigger, faster, and more diverse. Here, in the heart of the fashion world, Melania felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The American fashion scene was a new territory for Melania. It had its own trends, styles, and ways of working. She had to start again, going to auditions, meeting designers, and making connections. But Melania was no stranger to hard work. She approached her new life in America with the same determination and resilience that had brought her this far. Adapting to American culture was another challenge. Everything was different. The food, the language, the pace of life. Melania missed her home and family, but found comfort in the diverse and welcoming spirit of New York. She met people from all over the world, each with their own dreams and stories. This melting pot of cultures made her feel at home. Melania's hard work started to pay off. She began getting modeling jobs, appearing in advertisements, and gracing the covers of magazines. Her European elegance and unique style set her apart in the American fashion world. She was not just a model. She was a symbol of grace and sophistication. But success in America was not just about modeling. Melania saw the opportunity to expand her horizons. She started exploring other areas of interest, like jewelry and fashion design. Her experience in the fashion industry gave her a unique perspective, and she wanted to create something of her own. As she pursued her modeling career and explored new ventures, Melania also took time to understand America. She traveled across the country, seeing the beauty of its landscapes and the diversity of its people. From the busy streets of New York to the sunny beaches of California, America was a country of contrasts and opportunities. Melania's journey in America was not just a career move, it was a personal adventure. She was learning and growing, not only as a model, but as a person. She faced challenges and overcame them, adapted to a new culture, and pursued her dreams with unwavering passion. The chapter concludes with Melania well established in her American life. She had come a long way from the small town in Slovenia. Her journey had taken her to the world's fashion capitals, and now she was making her mark in America. Her dreams were big, but her determination was bigger. Melania's American dream was just beginning, and her story was far from over. She was ready to take on whatever came next, with grace, strength, and the courage to dream big. Chapter 4. A Fateful Encounter. As Melania continued to make her mark in the bustling city of New York, her life was about to take an unexpected turn. It was during a Fashion Week party, a glittering event attended by celebrities and high-profile personalities, that Melania's path crossed with Donald Trump's. The party was a whirlwind of lights, music, and glamour. Models, designers, and stars mingled, creating an atmosphere of excitement and elegance. Amidst this dazzling scene, Melania stood out with her poise and grace. She was used to such events, yet every time felt like a new experience. Donald Trump, known for his business empire and larger-than-life persona, was among the guests. He was a prominent figure in New York, famous for his real estate ventures and television appearances. When he saw Melania, he was captivated by her beauty and elegance. Their first meeting was brief but memorable. Donald introduced himself to Melania, and they exchanged a few words. There was an immediate spark, an unspoken connection. Melania was intrigued by his confidence and charm, while Donald was drawn to her sophistication and intelligence. However, this encounter was not just about two people meeting at a party. It was the beginning of a journey filled with romance, challenges, and public scrutiny. Melania, who had always kept her personal life private, found herself in the limelight, her relationship a topic of interest and speculation. Despite the attention, Melania and Donald's relationship grew stronger. They found in each other a shared love for ambition and success. Melania admired Donald's drive and determination, while he respected her intelligence and independence. But their relationship was not without its complexities. Melania had to navigate the intricacies of being with a public figure. Every step they took was watched and analyzed. She had to balance her own career and aspirations with the growing attention on her personal life. As their relationship progressed, Melania's life changed. She was no longer just a model making her way in the fashion world. She was now part of a high-profile couple, with all the glamour and challenges that came with it. Her relationship with Donald opened up new avenues and experiences, but also brought new pressures and expectations. Throughout it all, Melania remained true to herself. She continued to pursue her passions and interests, maintaining her identity amidst the whirlwind of her new life. She showed resilience and grace, handling the attention with poise and dignity. The chapter closes with Melania at a crossroads. Her relationship with Donald had become a significant part of her life, but she was also her own person, with dreams and goals. As she looked ahead, Melania knew that her journey with Donald was just one part of her story. She was ready to embrace the future, whatever it may hold, with strength and confidence. Her life was a tapestry of experiences, and this fateful encounter was just one of the many threads woven into it. Chapter 6. The Path to Love. Melania and Donald's courtship was a journey of discovery, full of moments both grand and intimate. Their relationship, blossoming in the heart of New York City, was unique, blending the worlds of fashion and business in a whirlwind of romance and ambition. Their dates were as varied as their personalities. Sometimes they would attend glamorous events where they were the center of attention, shining under the bright lights of the media. Here, Melania's elegance and Donald's charisma were on full display. They complemented each other, with Melania's grace balancing Donald's assertiveness. But their relationship was not just about public appearances. They also shared quieter moments, away from the cameras and the spotlight. During these times, they got to know each other on a deeper level. They talked about their dreams, their pasts, and their visions for the future. Melania saw a side of Donald that was not always visible to the public, thoughtful, caring, and deeply ambitious. Donald was impressed by Melania's intelligence and her perspective on the world. She was not just a beautiful model. She was someone who had traveled the world, had faced challenges, and had built a life on her own terms. Melania, in turn, admired Donald's drive and his ability to turn visions into reality. He was a man who thought big and was not afraid to take risks. Their courtship was not without challenges. The intense media interest in their relationship put pressure on them. Melania, who valued her privacy, had to adjust to the constant presence of cameras and reporters. She handled it with poise, but it was a significant change from her previous life. As their relationship progressed, they began to envision a future together. They discussed what it would mean to be a couple in the public eye, how they would balance their careers, and how they would support each other's ambitions. Melania understood that being with Donald meant a life of scrutiny and attention, but she was ready for it. She believed in their partnership and the strength they found in each other. The dynamics of their relationship were unique. They were both strong, independent individuals, each with their own successes and experiences. This independence was the foundation of their partnership. They respected each other's space and individuality, which made their relationship stronger. Donald and Melania's path to love was a journey of mutual respect, understanding, and shared dreams. They were a team, facing the challenges and enjoying the successes together. Their relationship was a blend of romance and partnership, each supporting the other in their endeavors. The chapter concludes with Melania and Donald's relationship firmly established. They had navigated the complexities of their unique partnership and were ready to face the future together. Their path to love was a testament to their resilience, understanding, and commitment to each other. It was a journey that had brought two different worlds together, creating a unique and enduring bond. Chapter 7. The Wedding Bells. The day Melania and Donald decided to get married was a day of joy and celebration. Their wedding was not just a union of two people, but a grand event that captured the attention of the world. It was a day filled with love, elegance, and a touch of glamour, reflecting the couple's journey together. The wedding took place in Palm Beach, Florida, at Donald's luxurious estate. The setting was like something out of a fairy tale. The lush gardens were decorated with thousands of flowers, twinkling lights, and beautiful decorations. The air was filled with the fragrance of roses and the sound of gentle music. Melania's dress was a masterpiece of fashion. It was an elegant, custom-made gown that sparkled with diamonds and pearls. She looked like a princess stepping out of a storybook. Her beauty and grace were the highlights of the day. Donald, looking dapper in his suit, was beaming with pride and happiness. The guest list was a who's who of celebrities, business tycoons, and high-profile personalities. The wedding was not just a celebration of love, it was a social event of the year. Cameras flashed as guests arrived, capturing every moment of the lavish affair. However, amidst the spectacle and glamour, Melania's feelings were a mix of excitement and reflection. She thought about her journey from Slovenia to New York, and now to this moment. She had come a long way, following her dreams and finding love. This day was a culmination of her hopes and a beginning of a new chapter in her life. The ceremony was a beautiful blend of tradition and modernity. Melania and Donald exchanged vows in front of their family and friends, promising to love and support each other. The words they spoke were sincere, marking the start of their life together as husband and wife. As the evening progressed, the celebration continued with a grand reception. There was music, dancing, and a feast fit for royalty. Melania and Donald shared their first dance as a married couple, surrounded by the love and best wishes of their guests. It was a moment of pure happiness, a memory that would last a lifetime. But the wedding was not just about the celebration, it was also a media event. Reporters and cameras were everywhere, eager to capture every detail of the glamorous affair. Melania, accustomed to the spotlight, handled the attention with grace. She understood that her wedding was not just a personal moment, but a public spectacle. As the night came to an end, Melania reflected on the day. She felt grateful for the love and support of her family, friends, and Donald. The wedding was a dream come true, but it was also a reminder of her new role as a public figure. She was ready to embark on this new journey with Donald, facing the future with confidence and hope. The chapter closes with Melania looking ahead to the future. Her wedding was a significant milestone, marking a new phase in her life. She was excited about the possibilities and ready to embrace the challenges and joys that lay ahead. Her story was one of love, ambition, and the courage to follow her heart. And this was just the beginning. Before we move from the enchanting wedding bells of Chapter 7 to the joys and challenges of motherhood in Chapter 8, we invite you to share your thoughts, leave a like, and suggest future stories you'd love to read on WooEnglish.com. Your engagement truly shapes our storytelling journey. Chapter 8. Motherhood. Motherhood marked a new and profound chapter in Melania's life. It was a role she embraced with all her heart, finding joy and fulfillment in the journey. The birth of her son, Baron, brought a new dimension to her world, one filled with love, learning, and the timeless dance of balancing family life with personal aspirations. Melania's experience of becoming a mother was a mix of emotions. She felt immense joy at the arrival of her son, a love that was deep and unconditional. Yet, she also faced the challenges of adapting to her new role. Motherhood was a journey with no map, each day bringing new experiences and discoveries. In the early days of Baron's life, Melania devoted herself to caring for him. She experienced the sleepless nights and endless days that all new mothers go through. But amidst the fatigue and challenges, she found moments of pure bliss, the first smile, the first words, the first steps. Each milestone was a celebration, a reminder of the miracle of life. Balancing motherhood with her own aspirations was not always easy. Melania had her own dreams and goals, but she was determined to be a hands-on mother. She managed her time carefully, ensuring that she was there for Baron, while also pursuing her interests. It was a delicate balance, but one that she navigated with grace and determination. Motherhood also brought a new perspective to Melania's life. She saw the world through different eyes, with a focus on the future and the kind of world she wanted for her son. Her priorities shifted, with family taking center stage. She wanted to create a loving, nurturing environment for Baron, a place where he could grow and thrive. Melania's approach to motherhood was thoughtful and intentional. She was involved in every aspect of Baron's life, from his education to his activities. She wanted to give him a grounded and normal childhood, despite the glare of the public eye. She shielded him from the media as much as possible, wanting him to have the freedom to be a child, away from the spotlight. As Baron grew, Melania's role as a mother evolved. She was his guide, his protector, and his biggest supporter. She taught him values, encouraged his interests, and was there for him through every step of his journey. Her love and dedication were evident in the bond they shared, a bond that was strong and unbreakable. Motherhood also influenced Melania's work and public life. She became an advocate for children's issues, using her platform to speak on the importance of parenting and child welfare. Her experiences as a mother gave her a unique perspective, one that she shared with passion and sincerity. The chapter concludes with Melania reflecting on her journey into motherhood. It was a role that had changed her in profound ways, bringing depth and richness to her life. She cherished every moment with Baron, knowing that these were the days that would shape both their lives. Motherhood was a journey of love, learning and growth, a journey that she embraced with all her heart. Chapter 9. The Business of Being Melania. As Melania embraced her role as a mother and partner, she also pursued a path to define herself as an independent, successful woman in the world of business. This chapter explores her ventures and determination to carve out her own identity, separate from her husband's fame. Melania had always possessed a keen eye for beauty and a sharp mind for business. Drawing from her experiences in the fashion world and her personal style, she decided to venture into the world of entrepreneurship. Her first step into this realm was through the launch of her own jewellery line. The launch of her jewellery collection was a significant moment for Melania. She was deeply involved in every aspect of the business, from designing pieces to marketing them. Her designs reflected her personal style, elegant, sophisticated, and timeless. The collection was a blend of her European heritage and her American experiences, a unique fusion that appealed to a wide range of customers. However, stepping into the business world was not without challenges. Melania had to navigate a competitive industry where success was not guaranteed. She learned about the intricacies of running a business, from managing finances to understanding market trends. These challenges were learning opportunities, helping her grow not just as a businesswoman, but also as a person. Melania's business endeavours went beyond jewellery. She explored various fields, including skincare and fashion accessories. Each venture was a step towards building her brand, a brand that represented quality, elegance, and empowerment. She wanted to create products that inspired women to feel confident and beautiful. Balancing her business ambitions with her personal life was a task that required careful management. Melania was determined to maintain her commitments as a mother and wife while pursuing her business goals. She managed her time efficiently, ensuring that her family was always her priority. One of the key aspects of Melania's business ventures was her desire to establish an identity independent of her husband. She wanted to be recognized for her own merits and achievements. Her ventures were a testament to her skills and hard work, showcasing her ability to succeed on her own terms. Melania's journey in the business world also reflected her evolution as a public figure. She used her platform to promote her products, but also to inspire and empower other women. She spoke about the importance of hard work, perseverance, and believing in oneself. Her message resonated with many, making her not just a businesswoman, but a role model. Despite the scrutiny and challenges, Melania remained focused on her goals. She faced obstacles with resilience and grace, learning from each experience. Her ventures in the business world were not just about profit. They were about creating a legacy of independence, strength, and success. The chapter concludes with Melania looking ahead to new opportunities and challenges. Her journey in the business world was ongoing, a path of continuous learning and growth. She had established herself as a successful entrepreneur, but she was not done yet. Her story was one of ambition and determination, a story that continued to inspire and influence. Chapter 10. The Political Stage. Melania's life took an unexpected turn when her husband, Donald Trump, announced his candidacy for the President of the United States. This announcement marked the beginning of a new chapter, not just for Donald, but for Melania as well. She was about to step onto a stage that was vastly different from anything she had experienced before, the world of politics. The presidential campaign was a whirlwind. Rallies, speeches, and debates became a part of Melania's daily life. She was thrust into the public eye like never before. Her every word, every outfit, and every appearance were analyzed and discussed. This level of scrutiny was a challenge for Melania, who had always valued her privacy. Despite the pressures, Melania took on her role in the campaign with determination. She supported her husband, standing by his side at events and speaking to the public about his policies and vision for the country. Melania, with her quiet strength and grace, provided a calm presence in the often chaotic world of politics. However, being in the political spotlight was not easy. Melania faced criticism and judgment. She was in a position where she was constantly under the public microscope. Every step she took, every statement she made, was scrutinized. It was a challenging time, but Melania handled it with resilience. She focused on her message and her role, not letting the criticism deter her. Melania's involvement in the campaign also brought changes to her personal life. Her husband's political career meant less time together as a family. She had to balance her responsibilities on the campaign trail with her role as a mother. Barron, their son, was her top priority, and she worked hard to ensure that his life remained as normal as possible amidst the chaos. One of the most significant moments of the campaign was Melania's speech at the Republican National Convention. This was her opportunity to introduce herself to the nation, to share her story and her beliefs. She spoke about her journey to America, her values, and her vision as a potential First Lady. It was a moment that put her in the national spotlight. showcasing her poise and eloquence. As the campaign progressed, Melania's role continued to evolve. She became more involved in discussions and events, showing support for her husband's candidacy. Her presence on the campaign trail was a symbol of her support for Donald, but it was also a statement of her strength as an individual. The chapter concludes with the election night, a night of tension and anticipation. As the results came in, Melania stood by Donald, witnessing a moment that would change their lives forever. Donald Trump's victory in the presidential election marked the beginning of a new journey for Melania. She was about to step into the role of First Lady of the United States, a role that would bring new challenges, new opportunities, and a new chapter in her remarkable story. Chapter 11. First Lady. The day Donald Trump was inaugurated as President of the United States marked a significant change in Melania's life. She was no longer just Melania Trump. She was now the First Lady, a title that carried with it great responsibility and public interest. This new role would challenge her in ways she had never imagined. As First Lady, Melania had to navigate a world that was entirely new to her. The White House was not just a residence, it was a symbol of the nation, and her role was to be a representative of grace, compassion, and strength. She approached this responsibility with her characteristic poise and determination. One of the first challenges Melania faced was the scrutiny of the media and the public. Every action, every fashion choice, every public appearance was closely watched and often critiqued. This level of attention was something Melania had experienced before, but never to this magnitude. She learned to manage this scrutiny, focusing on her role and responsibilities rather than the opinions in the media. Melania's initiatives as First Lady were focused on issues close to her heart. She was particularly passionate about children's welfare and well-being. Her campaign, Be Best, focused on the major issues facing children today, including social media use, well-being, and opioid abuse. She wanted to use her platform to make a positive impact on the lives of children, to give them a better future. Balancing her public role with her private life continued to be a challenge for Melania. She was a mother first, and she worked hard to ensure that Barron, her son, was shielded from the intense public scrutiny. She wanted him to have a normal childhood, as much as possible under the circumstances. Melania also brought her sense of style and elegance to the White House. She took an active role in preserving and enhancing the historic building, ensuring that it remained a symbol of pride for the nation. Her efforts were a blend of respect for tradition and a modern touch, reflecting her personal taste and her understanding of the significance of the White House. Throughout her time as First Lady, Melania faced both praise and criticism. She remained steadfast in her approach, staying true to her values and focusing on her initiatives. She showed that she could handle the pressures of the role, meeting challenges with grace and resilience. Melania's journey as First Lady was not just about her initiatives and public appearances, it was also about her personal growth. She learned to navigate the complexities of political life, to use her voice for causes she believed in, and to stand strong in the face of scrutiny. She was more than the wife of the president. She was a First Lady who left her own mark on the role. The chapter concludes with Melania reflecting on her journey as First Lady. It was a role that brought challenges, but also opportunities to make a difference. She had grown in ways she never expected, finding strength and purpose in her position. Her time in the White House was a significant chapter in her life, one that shaped her legacy and her story. Chapter 12. Advocacy and Influence. As First Lady, Melania stepped into a role where she had the power to make a significant impact on various social causes. This chapter delves into how she used her influence to advocate for change and contribute positively to society. Melania's passion for children's welfare, which had begun with her Be Best campaign, continued to be a focal point of her advocacy work. She travelled across the country, visiting schools, hospitals, and children's shelters. In these visits, she met with children and educators, listening to their stories and experiences. Her aim was to understand the challenges they faced and to bring attention to their needs. One of the key issues Melania focused on was online safety for children. In a world where social media and the internet play a huge role in children's lives, she aimed to promote responsible online behaviour. She spoke about the importance of being safe online, the impact of cyberbullying, and how parents and teachers can help children navigate the digital world. Melania's influence extended beyond children's issues. She also took an interest in the opioid crisis, a major problem affecting many American families. She visited rehabilitation centres, spoke with healthcare professionals, and met with families affected by addiction. Through these efforts, she aimed to raise awareness about the crisis and support initiatives that helped those impacted by addiction. Another area of focus for Melania was the well-being of military families. She recognized the sacrifices made by service members and their families. She hosted events at the White House to honor them and worked with organizations that provided support to military families. Her goal was to ensure that they received the recognition and assistance they deserved. Melania's advocacy work was not limited to the United States. She also represented the country on the global stage, visiting other nations and participating in discussions on social issues. She met with world leaders and participated in international conferences, using these platforms to highlight the causes she was passionate about. Throughout her advocacy work, Melania faced both praise and criticism. But regardless of the public opinion, she stayed committed to her causes. She believed in using her position as First Lady to make a difference, to bring attention to issues that were often overlooked. Melania's approach to advocacy was hands-on. She didn't just speak about issues, she got involved. She visited the places where she could see the impact of her work, met with the people who were directly affected, and listened to their stories. This hands-on approach gave her a deeper understanding of the issues and made her advocacy more effective. The chapter concludes with Melania reflecting on the impact of her advocacy work. She knew that change took time and that she was just one part of a larger effort. But she was proud of the work she had done and the awareness she had raised. Her time as First Lady gave her a unique platform, and she used it to advocate for positive change. Her influence extended beyond her role in the White House, leaving a lasting impact on the causes she championed. Chapter 13. Pressures and Perceptions. Being in the public eye as the First Lady brought with it a unique set of pressures and challenges for Melania. This chapter explores how she navigated the complexities of public life, the media's perception of her, and her strategies for coping with criticism. The life of a public figure is never easy, and Melania experienced this firsthand. Every aspect of her life, from her fashion choices to her public statements, was under constant scrutiny. The media often had its own narrative, and Melania found herself portrayed in various lights, some favourable, others less so. One of the biggest challenges was dealing with criticism. In the world of politics, opinions are strong and often divided. Melania faced criticism for her actions, her words, and even her silence. It was a part of public life that she had to learn to navigate. She understood that she could not please everyone, and that criticism was often not just about her, but about the political climate in general. Melania's strategy for coping with the pressures of public life was rooted in her strong sense of self. She knew who she was and what she stood for. She focused on her initiatives and her family, which gave her a sense of purpose and direction. Melania did not let the criticism define her. Instead, she stayed true to her values and beliefs. Another aspect of her public life was the constant comparison with other First Ladies. Each First Lady brings her own style and approach to the role, and Melania was no different. However, comparisons were inevitable. Melania chose to embrace her uniqueness, bringing her own perspectives and experiences to the role. She was not trying to fit into a mold. She was creating her own path. Melania also faced the challenge of public perception. The media often portrayed her in a certain way, which may not have always aligned with her true self. She was aware of this gap between perception and reality. To bridge this gap, Melania used her public appearances and speeches to express her true self, to show the public who she really was beyond the headlines. Privacy was another significant concern for Melania. Living a public life meant that her privacy was often limited. She had to find a balance between her public role and her private life. Melania made a conscious effort to protect her family's privacy, especially her son's, ensuring that he had a normal childhood despite the intense public interest. Melania's resilience in the face of these challenges was notable. She did not let the pressures of public life overwhelm her. Instead, she learned to manage them, using her strength and poise to navigate the often turbulent waters of public perception. The chapter concludes with Melania reflecting on her experiences in the public eye. She had faced pressures and criticisms, but she had also grown and learned from them. Her journey was not just about the challenges, but about her ability to rise above them. Melania's story in the public eye was a testament to her resilience, her grace, and her unwavering strength. Chapter 14. Personal Strengths and Struggles. Melania's journey, both personal and public, has been marked by a series of strengths and struggles, painting the portrait of a woman defined by resilience and determination. This chapter delves into the depths of her inner experiences, revealing the complexities of her life in the spotlight. One of Melania's most significant strengths has been her resilience. Throughout her life, from her early days in Slovenia to her role as First Lady, she faced numerous challenges. Yet she confronted each obstacle with a quiet strength, never allowing setbacks to define her journey. Her ability to bounce back, to remain steadfast in the face of adversity, is a testament to her inner fortitude. However, Melania's life was not without its struggles. One of her greatest challenges was adapting to the relentless scrutiny of public life. The transition from a private individual to a public figure was daunting. She found herself the subject of constant media attention, where every action, every word was analyzed and sometimes criticized. This scrutiny was a heavy burden to bear, but Melania navigated it with grace. Another struggle for Melania was maintaining her own identity. In the shadow of her husband's larger-than-life persona, it was easy for her identity to be overshadowed. Yet she strove to carve out her own space, to be recognized for her own achievements and contributions. Her ventures in business, her advocacy work, and her role as First Lady were all avenues through which she established her individuality. Melania's journey was also marked by the struggle of balancing her personal life with her public role. As a mother and wife, her family was always her priority. Yet her responsibilities as First Lady demanded a significant portion of her time and attention. This balancing act was a constant juggle, requiring careful management and prioritization. In terms of her personal strengths, Melania's ability to adapt was remarkable. From moving to a new country to stepping into the role of First Lady, she showed an incredible capacity to adjust to new environments and challenges. Her adaptability was a key factor in her ability to thrive in various situations, whether in the world of fashion, business, or politics. Melania's sense of style and elegance was another strength. She used her fashion sense to make a statement, to express her personality and mood. Her style was not just about clothes. It was a form of communication, a way of presenting herself to the world. Through her fashion, she conveyed confidence, elegance, and a sense of self. Despite these strengths, Melania's journey was not without internal struggles. Like anyone in the public eye, she dealt with moments of doubt and uncertainty. However, she faced these inner challenges with a sense of introspection and growth. She learned from her experiences, using them to become stronger and more self-assured. The chapter concludes with a reflection on Melania's personal journey. Her story is one of contrasts: strength and struggle, public and private, resilience and vulnerability. Through it all, Melania remained true to herself, facing each challenge with dignity and grace. Her journey is a reminder that behind the public persona lies a complex individual, with her own strengths, struggles, and story to tell. Chapter 15. The final chapter of the White House. As the curtains drew to a close on Donald Trump's presidency, Melania found herself at a significant turning point. The years in the White House were a chapter filled with experiences, challenges, and growth. This chapter takes a reflective look at Melania's time as First Lady and her thoughts on the journey ahead. The White House, a symbol of power and history, had been Melania's home for 4 years. Within its walls, she had experienced moments of triumph, periods of difficulty, and instances of profound learning. As she prepared to leave, Melania took a moment to reflect on her journey. One of her most notable reflections was on her initiatives as First Lady. Be Best, focusing on children's well-being and online safety, had been a central part of her work. She felt a sense of pride in her efforts to make a positive impact on the lives of children. This initiative, close to her heart, was something she hoped would continue to flourish, even after her departure from the White House. Melania also thought about the challenges she faced. The scrutiny and pressure of being in the public eye were intense. She had learned to navigate the complicated landscape of politics and media, often having to defend her privacy and family. These experiences, though tough, had taught her resilience and given her a deeper understanding of the complexities of public life. As First Lady, Melania had the opportunity to meet a variety of people, from world leaders to ordinary citizens. These interactions were invaluable, providing her with diverse perspectives and insights. They enriched her understanding of the world and her role within it. Melania's sense of style and elegance was a constant throughout her time in the White House. Her fashion choices often made headlines, but for her, they were an expression of her personality and a way to connect with people. Her style was a silent yet powerful form of communication. Looking to the future, Melania contemplated her plans and aspirations. Leaving the White House was not an end, but a transition to a new chapter. She looked forward to focusing more on her personal projects and spending more time with her family, especially her son, Baron. Melania also considered the legacy she was leaving behind. She hoped to be remembered as a First Lady who brought grace, compassion, and strength to the role. She wanted her initiatives to be remembered for their impact and for the light they shone on important issues. As the chapter comes to a close, Melania stands at the threshold of a new beginning. Her journey as First Lady was a significant part of her story, but it was not the entirety. She faced the future with an open heart and mind, ready to embrace new opportunities and challenges. Her experiences in the White House had shaped her, but they were just one part of her continuing journey. Melania's story in the White House was a blend of public duty and personal growth. As she stepped out of this role, she carried with her the lessons learned and the memories made. The future was unwritten, and Melania was ready to write the next chapter of her life with the same grace and resilience that had brought her this far. Chapter 16. Legacy and Beyond. As Melania stepped into a future beyond the White House, she carried with her a legacy shaped by her years as First Lady. This concluding chapter reflects on that legacy and looks ahead to the impact of her journey from Slovenia to the global stage. Melania's time as First Lady was marked by her dedication to children's welfare and well-being. Her Be Best campaign, focusing on issues like cyberbullying and opioid abuse, was a significant part of her legacy. She hoped that the seeds she planted through this initiative would continue to grow, positively impacting children's lives for years to come. Another aspect of her legacy was her approach to the role of First Lady. Melania brought her own style and perspective, combining elegance with a focus on substantive issues. Her efforts to preserve the heritage and beauty of the White House were also a testament to her respect for tradition and history. Reflecting on her journey, Melania considered how her experiences had shaped her. From a young girl in Slovenia dreaming of a world beyond, to a model in the fashion industry, to the First Lady of the United States, her life had been a journey of transformation. Each chapter of her life had brought new challenges and opportunities, shaping her into the woman she was today. Looking to the future, Melania had a vision of continuing her work in advocacy. She wanted to expand her efforts in supporting children and families, building on the foundation she had laid as First Lady. Her experiences had given her a deep understanding of the issues and a platform to make a difference. Melania also planned to focus on her personal interests and passions. She looked forward to spending more time on creative pursuits, possibly returning to her roots in the world of fashion and design. Her artistic sensibilities and experience in the fashion industry remained a significant part of her identity. Family was at the heart of Melania's future plans. She wanted to ensure that Baron, her son, had the support and guidance he needed as he grew up. Her role as a mother was her most cherished responsibility, and she intended to continue prioritizing her family. As she contemplated her future, Melania thought about the ongoing impact of her journey. She hoped to inspire others, particularly young women, to pursue their dreams and stand strong in the face of challenges. Her story was a testament to the power of resilience, hard work, and determination. In conclusion, Melania's story was not just about her time as First Lady. It was a story of a journey that spanned continents and roles, of a woman who faced the world with grace and strength. Her legacy was not only in the initiatives she championed or the elegance she brought to the White House, but also in the inspiration she offered to those who followed her story. Melania looked to the future with optimism and a sense of purpose. Her journey had taught her that change is constant, and with each new chapter comes new opportunities for growth and impact. As she stepped forward into this next phase of her life, she carried with her the lessons of the past and the hope for a future filled with possibilities. Her story, from Slovenia to the global stage, continued to unfold, a narrative of resilience, elegance, and enduring strength.